Okay, guilt and karma. Speaking on guilt and karma. Well, the Course in Miracles talks about guilt, and I would just say that I wouldn't get too caught up with guilt and karma. I mean, you can do the Course in Miracles; it's enough. You don't have to understand karma, or you can understand karma and not do the Course in Miracles, or you can just surrender. You don't need to know either of them. But how do they relate to each other? Well, if we say that if we say that past lives, in the illusion past lives exist, and in this lifetime, what I've done to others can be held on until it's forgiven. So you could say just karma is a form of unforgiveness, and a holding of belief systems related to unforgiveness, which could be related to this lifetime or a prior lifetime that's not from this lifetime. So it's the same thing. So you could say guilt and unforgiveness is the same thing in a way. I have a level on a certain level. There's some kind of guilt taken on board when I don't forgive myself or forgive others or forgive God. So it's a guilt of holding on to, oh, I blame God or I blame myself or I blame another. You could say that past life reincarnation brings another dimension that sometimes in this lifetime we forget what we've done in prior lifetimes. So there is a form of victimhood that, oh, I'm innocent because I can't remember anything in this lifetime where I behaved in that way. So I think of past lives, either past life hypnotherapy or kinesiological research into, oh, well, I feel like this person has robbed me, and I have never robbed anyone in this lifetime. You see, in a past lifetime, you're a robber. So it goes, okay, well, fair enough. I have done that to others in the past lifetime. Um, okay, so I think that answered the question. You could interchangeably use the word guilt, karma, and belief. If I steal money from a person, I take on the belief and the guilt that I've done bad, and so I have a belief that I deserve punishment. I deserve to be guilty, and I deserve to be punished. So you could say it's a belief, or you could say it's guilt, or you could say it's a karma that I need to undo. So it doesn't really matter. I wouldn't get bogged down in the words. Whether you forgive it, whether you surrender it, whether you let it go, whether you feel it out, whether you pray for a miracle, or you ask the Holy Spirit for help. They're all different mechanisms of resolving whether you want to call it guilt, karma, or a belief system. So don't get too intellectual about these things. Pick your spiritual process and stick to it until it's dissolved through whichever mechanism you use. Um, yeah, I might as well share it. I used to work in the stock market. I was dishonest around money. And I've got a situation now where, a US company has gone bankrupt where I used to hold my investments on. I took my money out, but they're basically saying, give us $100,000 back so we can distribute it amongst everyone else who lost money, because that's the US federal law. So, my ego's got a lot of resentment. But then on the other hand, the managing director was dishonest and investors lost money. And so the investors need to suffer what the managing director is in jail now, so he's not having a great time. But still, I'm suffering because this guy decided to be dishonest. But then, I could say that's unfair, but then I was dishonest when I was in the stock market, so I get to get a taste of my own medicine. Now, you can call that a belief, or you can call that guilt, or you can call that karma. It doesn't really matter. It's undone through all the similar mechanisms. So I think it's having an understanding of karma, or that things come back unless you undo them through forgiveness or through good karmic deeds, positive karma, or through surrender, or through letting go, or the Course of Miracles. They're all different mechanisms of undoing them until they disappear. So all I'd say, people getting too stuck in, trying to let their egos come into the complexities of what is karma, what is guilt. And what is a belief system? I say don't worry about it. Just if you're doing the Course in Miracles, just do the Course in Miracles. If you're doing karma, do karma. But all the spiritual mechanisms work to release it. You don't have to know all the different pathways and all the different ways. So don't get too worried about it. Okay.